presented to you Flor Tercera. Her name is Dana Blanco with her song Dos con Tres. In this case, the two tres are Yarima, and she's also featured on the vocals, and also Pancho Ama. And just right now, we enjoyed Africa. It's Alfredo Rodriguez along with Pedro or Pedrito Martinez from the album Tualog. That is, in fact, some of the music that you'll get to enjoy very, very soon this coming Saturday, as we are so excited to bring to you the 15th edition of the Global Cuba Fest 2022. And it's really my joy to have here with me in the studio, pianist, composer, also a Grammy nominated arranger, and very, very talented young man, Alfredo Rodriguez. Bienvenido. Welcome to Cubaneando.
Gracias. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
And Alfredo, bueno, we're very excited in a way because we're happy to share that the concert that you'll be presenting is March 5th at 8 p.m. at the North Beach Band Shell, and it's Fundarte with the Miami Light Project with special guests that will be talking about that. There's good news in the sense that those of you out there who had an opportunity to already get your tickets, you'll be able to enjoy this magnificent performance. And the concert is sold out.
Yeah, we're so happy.
Muchas felicidades.
Gracias, muchas gracias. It's so good to see the support of Miami. Based, and we know that this is a city full of Latin American countries, and also obviously everyone is welcome. But I was very, very excited to be back here in Miami. Obviously because the reason that there are many Cubans here, but also people that I relate to, and I'm just very honored that the concert is gonna be full of people. I think I don't remember the capacity, but I think it's more than 800 people, something.
Yes, yes.
So we're very happy to, we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be special for me too.
It will certainly be. I'll be presenting. I'll be the host of a concert. Every year I do the Global Cuba Fest, and I'm excited because again, it promises to be a great night. You'll have some special guests, and throughout tonight as we talk, we'll hear a little bit of music. But you have Peach Arbona, also Tony Zucar, Pedrito Martinez, and also other musicians that are going to be part of the band that evening. And of course, what we just heard now, Africa is one of the songs that is part of the new album, your new production, your fifth production.
Yeah, it's my latest album. That was a collaboration with Pedrito, which is a close friend and someone who I admire so many years playing together and like listening to his music. And we always try to find a something that happens to collaborate together. And then I remember like that was like 4 or 5 years ago. We did a show as a duo, and because we didn't have our musicians with us, it was like basically a situation that what should we do? And we said like let's just do a duo since we don't have anyone else. Like everyone else is busy, let's just do a duo. And then after that show, we actually created a set for Pedrito. The Pedrito didn't used to have like as many instruments with him. Pedrito plays everything with the hands. So we had like, incorporated like snare and hi-hat and all of that, and he plays with the hand. And then I incorporated also into that set, like me playing the bass with some synthesizers, and we will both sing in that project. After that, the long story short, we went to the studio. We said, like, let's just do an album. And then do a lot, came into the world. And since that moment, we've been touring together and just playing more and more. And that's one of the, reason that he's part of this show also. I wanted this show to be special in a way that tried to bring all of my different projects to just one show. And that's why, when you mentioned like Richard Bona is someone which is kind of the same situation. I met Richard maybe 10 or 11 years ago. We did a show somewhere in Europe because Quincy had a band that was called the Global Gumbo All Stars. And I was, honored to be part of that band. Richard was part of that band as well. And since that moment, we've been, just playing and collaborating. The same with all of the musicians. Because, with Munir, for example, Munir Hosson and Michael Oliveira, those are the band members of my trio since I don't even remember when. So it's gonna be a celebration of music with all of these great musicians and human beings that I have the great honor to share my life and my music with.
Indeed, and I think that we're so again excited to have the opportunity of having it, the beautiful band shell. And as we go back in time, I know well you're from Havana, you're coming from musical family, your father very beloved, the singer, Rodriguez. And as you moved on to in the year 2006, I think was a turning point in many ways when you traveled over to do the Montreal Jazz Festival, right? I mean,
Yes, it
almost like
was.
that special connection. Tell us about
Yes, well, I was selected between 10, 12 pianists in the whole world to play at that specific festival. Well, that was a life-changing situation for me because I had the honor to just to check out for the first time Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Oscar Peterson, so many of my idols that I didn't have that opportunity while I was in Cuba. So then the owner, the founder of the festival, Cloud Knobs, he invited many of us, of the pianists, young pianists that we were playing at the festival, to his house. And while we were there, he mentioned that Quincy Jones was coming to that event. And then he said to us, "Do you guys want to play a song for him?" And we always say, all of us, we said yes, of course. So that was what happened. We did that. And after I finished my performance, I remember Quincy. Actually, I have a video of that. Quincy coming, like to myself, we hug each other, and he said that I want to help you in some way with your career. Again, I was like 19 or 20 years old, and sometimes many people come to you and tell you things that nothing is going to happen. I just took it like one of the biggest experiences in my life. Mm-hmm. A legend just came to me and just said that he liked my music. That's it. That's more than enough. But everything started to change when I went back to Cuba, and then his manager at that time, which now is the same manager because I share the same management company, then he said, Quincy wants to help you in an email while I was in Cuba. So then I knew that was something, okay, that I had to do something. Quincy Jones is writing me that he wants to help me. But believe me, it took me like 3 or almost 4 years to make the decision to come here because that was in 2005 or 6. And political relations between Cuba and the state were completely broken at the time. We didn't have like cultural exchanges or anything like that. So, while after 3 or 4 years after that, I was in Mexico playing a show with my dad. And I said to my dad, you know what, this is my opportunity. I'm just going to go to the States and try to start a new life and see what happens because we kept the conversation going, with his manager and Quincy and everyone. And they said, if you can make it to the States, we're going to help you. So basically, that was what I did. I crossed the border, as many other immigrants have done in their lives. I crossed the border January 2019. Oh, January 2009. And then, after that, I started a new life. I went to Los Angeles. Long story short, I went to Los Angeles and I got signed with Quincy Jones Productions and got a record deal and booking agents and start playing. I remember, a nice, situation for me, which was like, I remember being in Cuba and playing with my friends, like at little clubs and things like that, trying to make it happen, right? I remember my first show in the States was at the legendary Hollywood Bowl in front of 18,000 people for a jazz festival, amazing, the Playboy Jazz Festival, which is something that happens every June there. So you can imagine how excited I was. That was my first official concert in the United States. Everything changed. That was a big, drastic, life change for me. Obviously, meeting Quincy and obviously coming to the States as well.
No, and in fact, and in the background, we're playing Guantanamera, which was really a piece that was, you were nominated in the category Best Arrangement, Instrumental or a Cappella, for that track, Guantanamera, from your album, The Invasion Parade. And again, there you collaborated, co-produced with Quincy.
Yes, Quincy has been my mentor, my friend, obviously, but also the producer of all my 5 albums that I have out. And I just feel very honored and humble to be able to learn from someone like him. That's more than enough for me. I consider myself like a blessed person just to be on his side, as well as many musicians that I have been honored to share the stage and my life, my music with.
So let's take a listen to a little bit of Guantanamera.
Ya ni me acordaba, porque nunca oigo mi música.
¿Quién otro estaba ese día que se acercó a ti? ¿Qué otro pianista estaba
Eran muchos pianistas de diferentes partes del mundo. Éramos 10 o 12 pianistas.
¿Te das cuenta de la vida?
Sí, sí, sí.
Sí,
Ahora había un tipo ahí que era un monstruo y el tipo de este que me gusta.
claro.
Sí, la vida es una locura, tú sabes. Hay veces que, como todo, hay veces que conectamos con gente y hay veces que no. Y a mí me pasó, a la suerte mía, que alguien como él conectó conmigo.
Claro.
Sin... Ya te digo, yo de hecho ni hablaba inglés, yo no me pude ni comunicar con
¿Cuánta gente
él.
se habrá acercado a él? ¿Me entiendes? ¿Cuánta gente en la vida se habrá acercado? Yo sí, déjame un momentito, porque el tipo vivo aquí. Yo le ayudo si vienes aquí, vienes a Estados Unidos. Allá puedo ayudar.
Exacto, no, no, en Cuba era imposible. Sí, de hecho es lo que te comentaba, trataron de ellos de alguna manera buscar información, a ver cómo me podían ayudar estando yo en Cuba, pero eso no es posible, ¿sabes? Yo siempre dije, no, ¿sabes qué? Me voy, o voy a perder esta oportunidad. Yo no quería perder esa
Y tu papá vivía aquí ya.
No, yo vine solo para Estados Unidos.
No.
Mi papá vivía en Estados Unidos, mi
Déjame
papá
decir
vivía
que
en
tengo que
Cuba.
hacer un break, pero hacer un pequeño break y regresamos. And you're listening to Cubaneando, Viviam Maria with you, and my special guest, Alfredo Rodriguez, who's going to be in concert at this Global Cuba Fest 2022. Alfredo and friends, and when we come back, more music for you of some of the guests at the North Beach Band Show, that the Miami Light Project, and also excited about March 12th at the Miami-Dade County Auditorium when the Global Cuba Fest closing. We'll have Jorge Luis Pacheco, Carlos Alvarado Jr., and special guests. Those are still tickets available for that. So when we come back, we'll tell you more how to get them. A quick break, and we're coming back with more music.
Blue Moment, a new 5-minute health-related feature. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. on WDNA. Sponsored by.
¿Ese otro concierto dónde es? En Miami-Dade County.
Esa es la clausura del festival. Por supuesto que estás invitado si quieres.
Es el 12, no voy a estar aquí.
Ya aguanta tu carrera.
¿Qué pasa? Ah, no. Por un poquitico de bilongo ahí para hablar de
Entonces tu padre vino después. Y cuando le hice yo, fue echando de Iván. Sí, claro. Sí, porque es súper duro y se quiere pasar a.
Sí, pero igual,
Él
¿sabes?
sabía,
Era una oportunidad también muy importante.
él
¿Sabes?
sabía el
También
talento
para
que
música,
tenía.
¿sabes? Es complicado también.
Yo lo-
Tremenda entrevista.
Muchas gracias.
Qué trayectoria, hermano.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Te vi a cruzar la calle, no sabes. Te miré, yo super medio. Un placer conocer.
Gracias,
Yo soy
muchas gracias.
Ángel Rubén Rodríguez.
El placer es mío, gracias. Muchas gracias.
Vaya, qué trayectoria linda. Gracias.
No podemos mencionar lo de un poquitico de los otros discos y entonces también que ha estado tocando en todas partes del mundo, que ya se
Todo bien.
recientemente.
Hablamos de todo.
Y entonces, si quieren, aparte de comentar lo de todo, ya hablamos
Pero sí, es que es a una cuadra. Entonces me voy buscando la gana. También sí. Vamos todos para allá. Trayendo todo el mundo para allá. Vamos a traerlo para sí, Julián está viviendo aquí también, que toca conmigo. Ilmar Gómez también, que es un percusionista brasileño que vive aquí. Y el Jorge Iglesias, que él toca cuadro venezolano, también vive aquí. Una carrera increíble también. Todos son estrellas en sus propios proyectos. Aquí con más.
Y eso es como un dialecto que está cantando el medio.
Sí, que está suave, como un dialecto camerún.
Hay como 200 dialectos.
Ay, era que para ti, para
Yo creo que no es. Cuando digas Miami Dade County, la gente sabe que allí tienen una.
Milongo, no? By many as La Negra Tomasa, Guillermo Rodriguez Fife, the composer, and here a very interesting twist with vocals Richard Bona with Heritage, Mandecan Cubano. And Richard, in fact, is going to be one of the special guests of this Saturday's performance of the 15th edition of the Global Cuba Fest with Alfredo Rodriguez, my special guest this evening in the studio. And so Alfredo, yes, definitely will have Bona. And so you have a nice combination of musicians from different parts of the world. Just like you have traveled to so many countries. You know, we're talking about, of course, Cuba, United States, but also Poland, France, Netherlands, Morocco, Switzerland, Italy, Brazil, China, and I think you recently arrived from. You were traveling. Was it in Turkey or were you traveling?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I mean, 1 week ago or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I want to say that I've been very fortunate to, I consider myself like a young musician, and I feel like I don't know how many countries, but for sure more than 60 or 70 countries just sharing my own music, and I feel that that's something very special for me because that's one of the things that I like the most because I learn so much every time that I go to a new country and learn from their music, their culture, And I'm completely sure that that has affected my music in a big positive way. And that's why I also try to bring all the time musicians with me with different heritage, different culture, and the message goes through the music. And people see unity instead of like putting borders or barriers, not only as a musicians, also as a human beings. And this show is not gonna be the exception. You know, we have Richard from Cameroon, we have Tony from Peru, we have Pedrito, Michael, Michael, and myself from Cuba, and we have Munir and Gilmar from Brazil, and we have Jorge from Venezuela. We also have a guest that is not part of this because I decided to invite her after this, but she is a beautiful flute player and singer from Cuba. Her name is Mahela Herrera,
Oh, yeah.
and she also is going to be part of the show.
So great. You see, friends, so it's going to be such a great performance of this Global Cuba Fest, the opening night. And we also want to remind you because this show, well, unfortunately, in the sense of getting tickets is already sold out. However, you'll have an opportunity to see the closing of the Global Cuba Fest 2022 with Jorge Luis Pacheco, Carlos Alvarado Jr., and some special guests, including Daimero Sena, Francisco Rodriguez, Joris Goyrizelaya with Otto Santana, Harold Lopez Nusa will be also there with Averov, including also Brian Lynch, Nestor Torres, Maggie Marquez, Ahmed Barroso. So you see another amazing lineup of players that will be at the Miami-Dade County Auditorium, March 12th. So not this Saturday, the following Saturday at 8 p.m. And it's again Fundarte in collaboration with Miami Light Project. And you'll have you can get more information and your tickets through fundarte.us, fundarte.us, or miamilightproject.com for all the details of where to go. But and yes, I feel so. Of course, like you said, you've been shaped in many ways through your travels. In fact, your different albums. So we talked about your debut album and Sounds of Space. That I think goes a little bit more towards your youth, right? What shaped your youth.
Yes, that's correct. It's an album that I composed. There that Pedrito sings and play the sacred music, the bata from Cuba. And I have Esperanza Spalding also as a featured artist in that album and many other. But that one is very like Cuban. You know, I have like many songs related to Cuba with my
Yeah,
twist,
reconnecting,
yeah.
right?
And then I have Tokororo, which still brings out my culture and my heritage because Tokororo is the national bird of Cuba. But then in that album, it's like an explosion of different cultures. I have musicians there from Lebanon, from France, from Spain, from Bulgaria, from Cuba, from Brazil, from many countries. Because I wanted to even, that was living in the States, living in a city like Los Angeles, where I have lived the most. Very multicultural city has opened my eyes and my life in so many ways. And I wanted to, my music has transformed in a lot of ways. I have felt like a transculturation in my life. And then my music started to become like very global at that point until now, which is what I keep doing because my roots are in Cuba and, I lived there for 20, 22 or 21 years of my life. But then I have been more than 10 years, almost, I don't even remember because I'm bad with dates, but 13 years, I think, in the States. And all of those has been like a transformation. It's my life and my music. And then I'm very happy to, say today that my music sounds more global and more related to many countries as well. And that's the message that I want to have with my music, with every time that we go on stage is that, we fight for that.
And as we know, music is a universal language. So again, it's
It
like
is.
you could be from any country and you can speak any language. You might not understand yourself if you speak different, languages, but the music will always unite you. And it's great that, you've done that. And again, having the opportunity of having all these players, and this is global Cuba Fest, so it has to do so much of the diaspora, but only the way that the Cuban music has expanded globally, right? So it's really an excellent way of connecting with the feeling of the festival. I want to also play a little bit of Tony Zucker, and we're talking about Peru, and we're going to be playing a bit of the Tony Zucker and Pablo Gil with Feste Fuego, with his Raíces Jazz Orchestra, again, to get us to some music. And we continue chatting more with my special guest, here, Cubaneando.